Hey people, CzarThwomp here, and welcome to episode 11 of Dual Destinies. Last time, we investigated more around Ninetailsville, and we met Damien Tenma's aide, Florent LaBelle, who was essentially a flamboyant joker who sprayed cologne in Apollo's face and has possibly destroyed all sense of smell. Apollo can no longer smell anything. It's just the smell of rancid flowers that were dipped in the sewer. And now we're going to talk to Damien Tenma. Let's go. What am I doing asking the mayor if he has ever thought about releasing Tenma Taro? At best, he'll think I'm an idiot. At worst, ugh. Oh, he's here. It's so nice to finally meet you. I'm Mr. Justice's partner, Athena Sykes. I'm looking forward to working with you, Mr. Tenma. Taro. Oh yes, I look forward to working with you too. Eek! Glad he didn't mind Athena calling him by a completely wrong name. Apollo, he's just as kind and gentle looking as I'd imagined. Lucky for you, after that blunder you just made. Well, there was something I wanted to talk to you about. There are rumors going around about how you want to or did set Tenma Taro free. What utter nonsense! Yikes! They always assume the worst of me because of the way I look, and the fact that I killed my wife with a shovel. Oh, just because a guy kills his wife, two maids, a small girl, and a yappy dog with a shovel, and bury them in a mass grave, they automatically assume that you're some psychotic monster. But those rumors don't have a shred of truth, I tell you! None of the people who started them could spread it! I made sure that their lines were ended! A little touchy about his appearance, isn't he? What he really needs to work on are his people skills. I want to show you this! Oh, sorry! Okay, yeah, we already did that. So rumor has it you want to push the merger through in order to release Tenma Taro. Of course, that's a bunch of loady, isn't it? Ugh! Ugh! Sorry if I offended you. So that's the talk about town, is it? I can see how that would make you angry. What if Jinxie's schoolmates start teasing her about this? Huh? I must break out here at once! Her tormentors must be taught a lesson! Where's my killing shovel? just Damien breaks out of the prison. He just starts rushing up to the local high school with a shovel. They shall all perish at the shovel's blade! No, wait! First we have to give you a not-guilty verdict first! Don't try to stop me! This is about a father's duty to his darling daughter! Hold on, sweet Jinxie! Daddy's coming to save you! Relax, we'll look after your daughter till we can get you free! Is that so? You don't need me to go straighten things out myself? What are you gonna do? Break their kneecaps? Oh boy, they'd probably call in the SWAT team if he showed up at her school! Oh right, I ought to ask about the reason behind the merger. It seems like you were rather forceful in pushing for the municipal merger. Did you really want Ninetailsville that badly? Yes, well, it's quite an attractive prize in terms of tourism. Wait, am I feeling what I think I'm feeling? Sure, I played a bit of hardball, but only when I deemed it necessary. I knew it, my bracelet's reacting. What is it, Apollo? Mayor Tenma may not be telling the whole truth. Really? How can you tell? People invariably tense up when they lie. That's where my bracelet comes in. I can sense when the person I'm talking to is feeling tense. Because it begins to feel tight on my arm. No way! You can do that? Wait, so you believe me? Just like that? Sure, each of us has our own special gift. It's called our magical lawyer power. Mr. Right, I can hear emotions. You have your bracelet. Mr. Right has that weird Magatama thing that allows him to just see those weird locks, and also transports into a void. He's got the weird do music. Oh yeah, Athena has a gift too. Her special sense of hearing. Still, what do you think the mayor's lying about? I don't know, but it's our job to find out. It's been a while since my bracelet last reacted like this. Let's see if I can still remember how to do this. First I touch my bracelet. Right, now let's give it a whirl. Yes, I remember this feeling of intense concentration. I'm staring right into his soul as we're engulfed in the void. The ability to see the smallest twitch, the slightest frown that no one else can see. Now, Mayor Tenma was lying somewhere in that statement he just made. And when he lied, a certain habit made itself clear right under his right eye. I just have to shift my viewpoint up and focus on that area. Alright, I got him now! His nerve cells should appear when he starts trying to pull the wool over my eyes. I've got to pour over every word he says and wait for it to appear. When he does, I'll perceive it. Yes, well, it's quite an attractive prize. Any second now, why am I moving slow? In terms of tourism. Mr. Mayor, please, you can trust us with the truth. Why am I in some hell void? Why am I going to the abyss? The truth? I don't understand. When you mentioned tourism, the bottom of your right eye started twitching. What nonsense is this? So what if it did? You're staring at me with this intense fury. Of course I'm going to feel nervous. Please tell us more about your merger bid. What more is there to tell? Why were you really seeking to merge with Ninetales Vale? I already told you. Tourism. The monster craze really revitalized the village, making it quite the prize. You really don't trust us, do you? What are you talking about? The village has been hot property ever since the monster craze started, has it not? I think you yet to realize what you're saying contradicts the facts. You say that the monster craze really revitalized Ninetales Vale, so you felt it would be an attractive price for its tourism, but that would contradict this, the attorney's badge.
Take that!
The monster craze at Ninetales Vale is a very recent phenomenon. It was sparked when the amazing Ninetales rose up against the municipal merger. The village was practically a ghost town before then. Ah! So you see, you couldn't have possibly seen it as an attractive price for its tourism. I was going to market the sadness. What's the real reason behind your push to merge Tenma Town with Ninetales Vale, huh? Are you ready to tell me the truth, though? Honestly, I never wanted to pursue the merger in the first place. But I had no choice if I wanted to protect my darling little Jinxie. Protect from what? The voices that demand me to kill her with the shovel. The same one I used on her mother. Those two maids. The yappy dog, a stray cat, a little girl, and a ferret. There was also a ferret in the house. It was Jinxie's mother's. I killed it, I wringed its neck, and beat it with the shovel. There was also a fat guy. He couldn't move through the door that well, so I killed him with the shovel and sliced him up. His rotund flesh displeased the voices. It said either I go through with the merger or my Jinxie dies. The voices are very persuading. What?
How awful! Who would do such a thing?
I don't know. But whoever blackmailed me must be connected to this murder. Wait, so you think the blackmailer and the killer could be one and the same? Alderman QB was immensely popular, so you have to ask, who would want him dead? The blackmailer who wanted the merger at all costs had all the motive in the world.
But why go from blackmail to murder? The merger protest wouldn't disappear just because the alderman was killed.
Oh, could it be? What if there was another reason for the murder?
Like what?
Maybe the blackmailer discovered Alderman QB's secret identity, and his secret identity was a threat to the blackmailer's merger scheme.
Wait, what secret identity? What do secret identities have to do with anything, Apollo?
I finished revealing the Alderman's secret identity. Maybe it's time to use it. Mayor Tenma, please take a look at this if you would. That's the amazing Ninetales mask. What is the meaning of this? This mask was always definitely at the crime scene, and there was some white hair inside. White hair? You say? There was one person with white hair in the manor that day. What? What are you saying? You know which man I'm talking about, right? I'm talking about Rex Cubey, the amazing Ninetales himself!
No way!
The Alderman was impossible!
Wait, come to think of it, Alderman QB was a former pro wrestler. So the blackmailer turned killer when he discovered the Alderman's secret identity.
Didn't I just say that? But yeah, the Amazing Ninetales was a threat to the blackmailer scheme. He opposed the merchant and as a result, single-handedly sparked the monster craze.
Even so, what was the mask doing at the crime scene?
There had been an event at the manor, and maybe Alderman QB had taken part in it, if you get my drift. This is absurd! Mr. Mayor, do you have proof of the threat that was made against you? Yes, a blackmail letter. Unfortunately, it disappeared after the murder. I'd been carrying it around in my briefcase, but now, it suddenly vanished. The blackmailer must have taken it with them after they killed the alderman. Well, at least we've clearly established the killer's motive. Mayor Tenma, visiting hours are over. It would appear this meeting is adjourned.
Apollo, do you really think the Tenmataro that Jinxie saw is the killer?
I don't know. All I know is that there's no such thing as monsters.
What about the newspaper article?
Could the killer
have purposely freed Tenmataro to do their dirty work?
Oh, come on! There wasn't any Tenmataro to release in the first place!
Yes, but the only suspects the police have right now are the man and a yokai.
We'll probably be arguing whether there was a yokai involved in court tomorrow. I can already see that look of disbelief on the judge's face. And just when he was getting over the whole panty debacle from Turnabout Corner.
Apollo, are you alright?
I'm fine. I'll think of something. I'd better because I can't very well say a flying demon was the killer. At this point, the only thing I know for sure is tomorrow is going to be one doozy of a trial.
To be continued. Okay, no, we're not saving. Yes, we're moving on. April 18th, 9:15 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 3.
You okay, Athena? You've been really antsy ever since we got here.
I'm just excited. This is my first real court case after all.
Yeah, real ball of excitement she is. I know just what she needs. Athena!
Eek! Did you ever learn about indoor and outdoor voices? Yeah, with Athena's hearing, just Apollo just absolutely just destroys her. I can't process. I'm going down, Apollo.
I'm just trying to show you the best way to relieve your pre-trial jitters.
By scaring the daylights at me?
Yes! No, I find that shouting "I'm fine" in a loud voice really relieves stress. It's part of my Court to Steel voice workout, and a must before every trial.
You want me to shout here?
That's right. Here, I'll go first, then you try. I'm a vote justice, and I'm fine!
All right, I'm Athena Sykes. And I'm fine. I think that actually worked.
I thought it might help. Always worked for me. An old friend of mine from junior high and I say it all the time.
I see, a proven remedy to calm the soul. I like it. Hey, how about we finish off with a race around the courthouse?
The point is to relieve stress, not get totally exhausted.
What's with all the racket, you two?
Ah, Mr. Wright! Just a little voice workout. Hey, what's with the suit?
Oh, this? I was thinking about getting my attorney's badge back, that's all.
Oh, I see how it is. My first trial, you're dressed as a hobo. My first year of working with you, you're dressed like a hobo. I'm just being nonchalant, not caring about my well-being. But then when Athena comes on board, you're getting all prim and proper and act like a caring boss. That's all. That's really huge news, but why now?
I have a feeling I'll be needed in the courtroom again sometime soon. I'll have to defend an orca. But we can talk about it another time.
No fair! Inquiring minds want to know! But wow! You don't look like a hobo! I'm so used to him in his usual laid-back clothes! That suit makes him look like $1 million.
By the way, have you heard about the prosecutor assigned to this case?
Yeah, he's serving time, but before that, he was a prosecutor. He also uses psychology.
That's right, I've heard the rumors about how he was back before his conviction, that he was a real weeb. Using the power of suggestion, he could make even the most stalwart defendants confess.
Psychology in the courtroom. Been hearing a lot about that lately. So he must be a pretty scary guy, considering he's a prison inmate and all.
So they say. They also say he'll cut you down if you talk too much.
Ugh! I knew he was gonna be bad news.
It's probably just hyperbole. At least I hope for your sake.
Wait, so is it true or not?
I don't know. Hey, but on the bright side, we got Athena, so we lose you, Apollo. I mean, it's not like we're gonna be suffering. It's not like it's gonna destroy us or anything. No skin off our backs, am I right? Let's just say you should be concise and choose your words carefully. If you'd like to keep that head of yours attached to the rest of your body, that is.
Yikes! Better tone down my cords of steel too!
So, are you all ready? It might be a good idea to check the court record again before stepping into the ring.
Right, Mr. Wright, but I'm fine!
I'll be watching from the gallery. Good luck.
Thanks!
Okay, let's do this.
The odds pulling this off are ridiculously low, but that's nothing new. Believe in our client, seek the truth, that's all we can do. Hang in there, Mayor Tenma, here comes justice.
April 18th, 9:30 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 4. Yeah, as you can see, basically, courtroom 4 is pretty much the center point of this entire game. Everything is courtroom 4.
Order is now in session for the trial of Damien Tenma. Apollo Justice, defense team leader, is ready, Your Honor. I know that big boy boy's anywhere, as chipper as ever, eh, Mr. Justice? But who is the young lady next to you?
I'm Athena Sykes, Mr. Justice's junior partner, and fresh out of law school.
Well now, full of beans too, eh? Excellent. Makes an old man feel young again. Now for the prosecution. Here's the Invisible Man! It appears the prosecution is not ready yet.
Never fear, for I shall explain. It's just a minor procedural complication, Your Honor. The prosecutor for this case is being escorted from prison as we speak.
Prison? Oh yes, of course. I almost forgot that he's currently serving time.
Yup, Prosecutor Blackquill's an inmate. But even a convicted murderer still got a job to do and duties to perform.
Who's that with his back to us over there?
That's him. I'm sure of it. Prosecutor Blackquill.
Ahem. Is the prosecution ready?
Enough jabbering. Get on with it already.
Of course, forgive me. Why are all the people related to this case so scary? What's up with that suit? What's he doing with that? Well, what's the matter?
I have a feeling that Justice Dono is insulting my glorious three-piece suit. Gaze upon it, Justice Dono. Gaze upon my Desu cool suit. 3 pieces, count them. Not 1, not 2, but 3 pieces. I don't even know what's going on here. Must we continue to frit away time like this? Is it alright that is alright then the indictment? An opening statement would be pointless.
Pointless, well, looks like the cat, or in this case, the prosecutor, has the judge's tongue. But, we need an opening statement as an overview to the case.
Well then, your baldness, if it's so very important, why don't you do the honors?
Who? Me?
No, your grandma! Of course you bloody cogger! There's a term for people who whine and fuss about how they feel need silly, useless things. At the prosecutor's office, we call them Phoenix Wright. And then decide they no longer want them once it's theirs. A selfish old fool. Or in the words of my people, a baka.
What's a baka?
Wait, was the prosecution's opening was that the prosecution's opening statement? Old daughters such as you are a plague upon the youth. I pity your poor grandchildren. Or is it great-grandchildren?
All these years, I thought the opening statement was the prosecutor's job. But I suppose I could give it a try. Might be a nice change of pace. What? He actually fell for that?
That must have been the power of suggestion Mr. Wright was talking about.
The opening statement, huh? Let's see here. The victim was one Rex QB, alderman of Ninetailsville, and the defendant, Damien Tenma, mayor of Tenma Town, is accused of his murder.
And why, pray tell, was the mayor arrested?
His prints were on the murder weapon. Plus, he had a motive: the elimination of the biggest roadblock to the
Why are you babbling?
The caretaker and the secretary. Other potential suspects both have alibis. His daughter, who was also in the vicinity at the time of the incident, has no motive.
So, in a nutshell,
I'd have to say the charges against the defendant are incontrovertible.
bravo, your baldness. Your years of experience shine bright like your head.
Ho ho ho! Flattery will get you everywhere.
He's playing Simon Says with the judge.
Moving right along now. Let's hear from our first witness for today, Detective Fulbright. Witness, please state your name and occupation.
I am the detective assigned to this case.
Bobby Fulbright! Oh, and I'll also be keeping tabs on old Blackquill here.
If he acts up, I will hit him with the braided belt of justice.
I also heard you would provide protection if it ever came to that.
This is what hell is like. So it is seen that I have been sorely underestimated. Though just so you know, this is what my hell is. I have to deal with him every day.
Wait, who's protecting who from what?
Still, I truly believe anyone can turn their life around. Even old Blackquill here with enough torture. Fulbright. Save your platitudes for funerals. Get on with the statement.
That's the spirit. Justice must be swift and true. I see it in your eyes. Also burning rage and murderous intent. There is hope for your rehabilitation and return to society. I will never give up on you.
I have already given up on this day. I want to go back to my cell. I would rather deal with Blaze the Best than you. I would rather deal with his antics in the shower, of how he goes around asserting his dominance in there, rather than deal with you. Prosecutor Blackquill doesn't seem to intimidate Detective Fulbright.
Well, you know what they say, ignorance is bliss.
Oh, so that's why Detective Fulbright was assigned to Blackquill. He's so oblivious.
Now, let's have your first statement, Detective Fulbright.
You got it, but first I'd like to say to the defense that justice will ultimately prevail! About the murder. Alderman QB was murdered with a spear that had been on the wall. The fingerprints on the defendant, Damien Tenma, were found on the murder weapon. At the time, Alderman QB was asleep from a drug he unwittingly ingested. Mayor Tenma attacked his helpless victim, impaling him like a human shish kebab. But the sudden pain jolted the victim awake, and he grabbed the statue and struck back.
Alderman QB had been slipped some kind of sleep-inducing drug.
That's right! His ass was roofied!
The accused was scared because the ultimate was a former pro wrestler, so he slipped him a drug to make sure he'd be out cold and defenseless. Here's the autopsy report to prove it. Yeah, and then 5 seconds later, Simon just uses his finger slash to just slice the autopsy report.
That autopsy report is outdated.
And the victim managed to attack his attacker despite being impaled by a spear? That sounds almost superhuman. Is it even possible?
Well, he was a former pro wrestler after all. That spear was probably nothing more than a mosquito bite to him.
Objection!
Not too fast! Don't try to brush it off by saying that Ultimate had been a pro wrestler. That was a big-ass spear! Do you really expect us to believe he could fight back after being skewered by a spear?
Never heard of incredible feats of which a man is capable of in a pinch, have you? Like the samurai of yore, wrestlers can battle through intense pain. It sharpens the senses. I used to talk about it with a former wrestler I met in the clink.
I don't know. It still sounds a little far-fetched.
Does it now? Then perhaps we should test that theory on you at the edge of my blade.
If I did sign up for this.
Damn these chains! And so your life is spared, for now.
Please let those shackles be made of titanium. I don't want to die. If I die trucing, it's my soul.
Haha, my investigations are as thorough as my own foolproof, or my name isn't Fulbright. I vow to resign immediately by ordering a false arrest.
Please let this be a false arrest. The accused prints were on the weapon, and he's the only person without an alibi. Who like decisive evidence? Wouldn't you agree, your baldness?
The defendant is sounding guiltier by the minute. He has the judge leaning towards a guilty verdict, and the trial just barely begun.
What's more, a curious rumor about the accused is making the rounds. They say he seeks the merger for the purpose of freeing Tenma Taro from his imprisonment. Truth be told, I can think of no real reason to show interest in that backwards burg. Perhaps he's a complete nutter and really does seek to release an imaginary demon. Either way, he is raving mad and more than capable of murdering the alderman.
That mayor is a strange one, right? I heard he went to a blood drive, but instead of donating, he tried to make a withdrawal. Order! There will be no gossiping in my court. At least not while I can't engage in it.
Your baldness, please take a gander at those charms plastered across his cranium. I hear they're meant to keep him safe from possession by the demon Tanamataro, and the voices that made him kill his wife with a shovel, along with 2 maids, a young child, a stray cat, a dog, and a fat man. And a ferret, also the ferret. Then again, perhaps he's already under the demon's spell. Behold! The lunatic appears poised to lunge at you at any moment.
Hold it!
The rumors and quirks of Metenma have no relevance to this case. Besides, those charms on his head, they're just a fashion statement, I think.
Come to think of it, such things don't seem relevant to the case, do they?
The prosecution were famed for dragging our client's reputation through the mud. Oh, what a dreadfully fearsome lass we have here! Hugh, thanks for that.
Thanks for that lifeline, Athena!
Careful, Apollo. He has the judge dancing in the palm of his hand. The power suggestion is one of the more powerful tools in Simon Blackwill's arsenal, along with his swords and also his knowledge of anime. He will slice you down in a debate about Naruto. You mention you watch a dub, he will kill you, especially if it's a 4Kids dub. I one time saw him back at the Space Center. I one time saw him beat up a guy just for saying that he watched the 4Kids dub of One Piece. He's trying to manipulate everyone's impressions to suit his objectives.
This guy really is bad news. In any case, it seems the victim did manage to defend himself despite being impaled. What sort of weapon did he use against his attacker?
None other than this statue right here.
It appears to be a statue of two strange creatures locked in battle.
Two yokai to be exact. On one side is a nine-tailed fox, and the other Tenmentaro. Quite interesting if you think about it. It's as though this very case were rendered in art.
Mr. Justice, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
About the murder.
Hold it!
So those weapons on the wall of the box chamber, I presume those are real? Don't you think that keeping real weapons around like that is rather dangerous?
No matter what he collected, the alderman insisted it'd be the real deal. For instance, he had a real demons club in his possession. Apparently, one of his ancestors claimed after defeating a demon in battle.
What? That's gotta be an old wives' tale.
Ha ha ha! The alderman had pure, unadulterated justice flowing in his veins. Whatever he did it right. He was the real champion of justice in his death.
Nothing but claptrap and balderdash if you ask me. Now stop your bleating and tell us about the weapon.
Your wish is my command.
What's going on with my voice? Yeah, I need to. Yeah, after this recording session, I'm gonna stop. Stop for the evening.
Hold it!
It doesn't make sense if you think about it. Prince could be easily wiped off. You do have a point there.
I'd venture to say he did not wipe off the prince because he could not.
What do you mean?
Looks like he wants you to figure it out. Well, don't you stand there, show him who's boss.
I'm totally lost. So why don't you just tell me the answer already?
I don't think he saw that plea for help. You feeling alright, kid? Riding a fever, perhaps? Do you want the cold press of justice?
I wish trials came with a reset button. Well, the specifics may yet come to light. Please proceed, Detective Fulbright.
Hold it!
Come to think of it, a coffee cup was found on the floor. Was the sedative in his coffee? Bingo! We found traces of sleeping agents all over the inside of the cup.
And that is why he was out cold. That is until he leapt to his feet upon being impaled by the mayor.
What an awful way to wake up.
A rather stimulating eye-opener if you ask me. In prison, we call that the best hello. I, too, would have risen to attack, for to die in battle is the samurai way. Perhaps paradise awaits fallen heroes, but that hole in his stomach would make eating a challenge.
Prosecutor Blackquill, please! Those morbid jokes of yours have no place in this court!
Says the Justin Detectives guys.
Moving right along.
Hold it!
So the alderman was drugged because he was really strong?
Did you see those rock-hard muscles of his? I'm surprised the spirit of him managed to pierce that armored-like musculature. I admit, I'm completely jealous of that righteous body of his. Ha ha ha!
Well, he did look pretty buff, even in that suit he had on.
Quite a difference when compared with a yellow belly like you and your flabby little girl arms.
Yellow belly? Who says that anymore?
Yeah, and the color's all wrong, too. Ooh, I know. How about squishy red tomato?
I move to strike both of your comments from the record. Mr. Justice's character is not the issue here. Now, let's get back to what happened after the far more muscular alderman was impaled.
Yes, well, your average person would likely have died on the spot.
Hold it!
Could he really have attacked his attacker after being impaled with a huge spear?
Absolutely! After all, he was once a pro wrestler. The injustice of being drugged, then speared, was answered with a righteous counterattack.
But doesn't being a former pro wrestler make him superhuman?
Absolutely. After all, he was one of the good guys, like a superhero on the side of justice. He was like Superman, but a wrestler. Even though he was retired, he could still don his superhero guise in times of need. He was like Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
Objection!
You need to let up the comic books, Detective. We're talking about real life here.
You read Magna like a man. Setting aside the half-wits fight like to fancy, the fact is this. The court ordered post-mortem concluded with that the victim moved after skewering.
So he found the strength to somehow attack his attacker, huh?
Detective Fulbright's testimony sounds airtight. No wonder he's so confident.
No, he only thinks it's airtight. It's up to us to poke some holes in it. That part about the ultimate fighting back sounds like a big hole waiting to be poked.
And that hole is found right here.
Objection!
Did the ultimate really strike the mayor?
Well, we'll answer that question in the next episode, because I think now would be a good time to end things off. Anyways, I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this episode. You're a great viewer, and I hope you come back for the next one. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you want. And with that, I'll see you next time. Bye.